What's your name?
Lara
Surname?
Croft.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Mic Check. Today we'll be discussing Tomb Raider. Now we saw the movie pretty early on, we got an early screening.
Yeah.
And I want to say that I kind of am a fan of Lara Croft. I like her, I played the games. Tomb Raider, Lara Croft, she's a great female empowerment adventure hero, you know, it's just like, you have fun with it. And this movie, I will say that it's pretty fun. I like it, it's good.
At times. At times it's fun.
At times, yes. But I'll let you start off with what you thought of it.
Well, I thought that the first, to be very blunt, first half of the movie was like a C-, like mummy grade movie. Maybe a little bit better. Second half of the movie was a good B- movie.
I would even say good B movie, yeah.
Good B, okay, a good B movie. I'll concede as far as that point. And I feel like the reason for that is, having not played any of the games, but also knowing that video games can be adapted into films, that first half of the movie, when you're watching stuff, and you're watching backstory, and you're watching, like, her in the ordinary world, and figuring stuff out, it's as boring as watching somebody play the game while you're sitting there not able to do anything. Like, you're not enjoying the watch because it's not a film, it's a different medium, and I feel like that didn't translate well, and everything about Lara Croft in this movie that was character-driven was all based on action, and it was all post-second half, which I won't reveal what happens in the second half, but it's not even all action. There is some character in slow, tense scenes with her and the bow and arrow that is much better than anything in the first half of the movie, and it's because that's what it felt like. And I think, but one thing that they did get, that I will defer to you for this, because I know you have some thoughts on, is not necessarily the fun of it all the time, but they always got the survival part of it. And that's a big thing about Lara Croft, that especially since this is the Tomb Raider series, it's before she becomes the Lara Croft we know so well, like the Temple of Doom version of Indiana Jones. She is meant to be really surviving, and she's not meant to be really skilled, but she's still very resourceful. Being skilled and being resourceful are very different, and this kind of, like, displayed that very well in terms of how at a disadvantage she is, but how not helpless she is.
It is kind of sigh of relief because it is a better game adaptation movie than anything else, really, like Warcraft, like Assassin's Creed. Are you kidding me?
It's the best we've gotten, but there's still a long way to go.
I do like her introduction. Like, you get that fighting sensibility. From the moment I started to enjoy it is when they actually got on the boat, she met the sidekick, and then it was like a big storm, and it was like you couldn't really see what was going on, and it felt like you were in her situation, like stuff was falling, she had to grab on and like crawl and stuff, and it was like chaotic, and I liked it. And then you get the island, and like you said, the second half is better than the first half. It's basically set piece after action, with a cookie cutter villain, with sidekicks you have to kill, and like missions. It was fun. I don't really like having her always relate to her father. Angelina Jolie did this, and the games did this. I don't like having her father there, but when the father was there, I kind of felt sentimental about it, and I liked their scenes together because they were good actors. I liked the action, I liked the set pieces, I overall enjoyed the movie, I liked it.
Yeah, I think that the thing I want to stress is that this is certainly not what people who like video game movies should settle on. Whether you like this, whether you like Warcraft, whether you've liked all the video game movies that have come out, there is still no Iron Man. So that's sort of the negative side. There's no, like, Iron Man movie to spawn, like, not that Iron Man was the first superhero movie, but it was the first movie in a cinematic universe.
Right.
However, what I will say about this in terms of a compliment toward the film, and why I would somewhat suggest to certain people to go see it, is that this movie, if The Mummy was as good as this movie, they could have continued with the Dark Universe and Universal, because the thing is, this movie was not a great film. It's like a C+ level film. But the ending, which we won't spoil it, but it leaves you on a cliffhanger.
For like sequels, I wouldn't mind watching them.
That's the thing. That's the thing. It leaves you on a cliffhanger, and I can't say that I'm not intrigued, and I can't say that the movie left me wanting more. It did leave me wanting more in terms of I wanted a better film, but it did also leave me more.
But it could have been way worse of a movie.
Yeah, I want to see where they go.
It shouldn't have been this good. I mean, it's not like praiseworthy, but it's good enough for what it's trying to do, and I appreciate it for that, and I can commend it for that.
I can appreciate and commend it. I can't say I always enjoyed the time. Like, I think that there's a lot of elements that Alicia Vikander herself, I like Alicia Vikander.
I do
like
too, but comparing that to Angelina Jolie's films, well, I think 1 is better than 2, but the Lara Croft movies or the Tomb Raider movies, Angelina Jolie, that was all fun. Nothing but silly, campy fun. This movie isn't trying to be fun, it's trying to be really melodramatic and serious, and I feel like that's kind of a detriment because Alicia Vikander isn't having as much fun as, not even Angelina Jolie, but as much as the audience is having with the movie. Yeah. And she's taking it like an Oscar movie, which isn't the case, and it's like, oh, I know you're liking this, but it's not as fun watching you as like the set pieces.
They need to find the balance, because like a lot of the fun stuff here is really fun, and a lot of the fun stuff I'm sure in the other movies are fun, but it's almost like the other movies, it's too much of what Marvel does poorly in being too campy, and this movie has a little too much of what DC does bad in being too, we're gonna take this really seriously. And you can find a balance. You can find a balance. There's humor in dark movies and there's darkness in good movies.
But the set pieces are what the highlights of the movie.
Yeah.
You know, the boat, the plane, and raiding the tomb at the end. It's good stuff.
Especially because this movie, one thing I really want to address is that this movie also has elements of the supernatural. And with any fantasy movie, if you think of The Wizard of Oz, if you think of Pan's Labyrinth, if you think of The Lord of the Rings, if you think of Harry Potter, those movies, if you were to describe to me those movies and say, well, this movie is a lighthearted movie, like Wizard of Oz is more lighthearted, you could find some dark elements in that movie. Pan's Labyrinth, a dark movie. You could find some very nice, lighthearted fantasy moments. And adventure and fantasy, there's a very thin line with those two genres, and this needs to be able to
this movie doesn't really balance it as much.
And it needs to.
It has humor, but it's the set pieces and the action and like what she has to go through is what made me care. Yeah. And I enjoyed it for what that was, but I don't know about you, but I could say this is a fun except as a gift.
I think so too.
I don't know if I could see it again and again and in theaters, but if I had it on my shelf, it's kind of like the Lara Croft movies where I could have it on my shelf and watch it from time to time, maybe like once every 5 years, and I'll be happy with that, but it's a good movie.
It's an accept as a gift, and I think the thing to take away from this is the movie left us wanting more because the things they gave us was so minuscule, like her humor, her wit. When it would come out, you'd be like, yes, give me more, and they wouldn't give you more. So there's wanting more in terms of that, but there's also wanting more in terms of things they did give you. So, really,
also, I want to say promotion, I would say that trailer 2 is way better than trailer 1, just saying.
Oh yeah,
and I actually did an Escape Hotel thing with Tomb Raider themed. That was really fun too, but I just thought I'd address that.
Yeah, so, middle of the road movie. I feel like at this point, you've kind of determined whether or not you want to go see it, but just understand there's good things about it, and there's bad things about it. So, as usual, before you go see a movie, check in with us first. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Can't be too careful these days. The world has gone bloody mad.
I'll take 2.